Hi, my name's Sutoni. I'm joined by Sir Scribbles here to commentate this match for you. Hard Knock Citizens versus Out of Sight. So Hard Knock Citizens have a Fleet Typhoon, EOS, regular Typhoon, Guardian, 2 Sequels, 2 Confessors, and 2 Hounds.
And on the other side, Out of Sight has 2 Bargus, a Fleet Typhoon, a Legion, a Damnation, and a Griffin. 1 Bargus is showing as being dead. It's very much not dead. It just doesn't like to be seen. It is on the field. Stealth Eve is alive and well. So 30 seconds now until the match kicks off. Sutoni, in general, when you see a team land on field with not the full 10 men, do you favor that, or do you think that's typically a risky decision?
I think it's a pretty risky decision, although it has worked out for Spectre Fleet recently today. Although it looks like this might be like a Ghetto Tinker Cap Battery Legion.
A ghetto. We'll have to find out what makes it ghetto a little bit later. But yeah, it is really interesting that they're using presumably the Legion is the Logi here, using what looks like a Tinker, but is a Tinker no longer because of the rule changes. So Out of Sight going for the Bombers. Yeah, great call. I think they take out those Hounds. It's a really good decision. I'll be interested to know where they go after these 2 Hounds. Lucia going down. I got Ping telling me she's a girl and to give her a shout out. So shout out to her and goodbye. That is true, yeah, and thankfully they're going for the Bargus that you all can see, but reps just now landing. This is an armor Bargus. That Legion is putting out armor reps. Meanwhile, Svipple going down. Man, the application on these small targets coming from Out of Sight is really, really impressive.
Yeah, we just saw a Supel go down now. 2 Hounds and Supel gone from Hard Knocks, and they haven't really killed anything yet. They are putting a Bargus wearing it slowly down into armor, but there is a Tinker kind of Legion on the side who is kind of keeping him up right now. I think they're probably going to lose this second Supel before he goes down.
Yeah, and I'm not going to call that a good trade, but slowly is the operative word there. This Bargus is dipping a little bit down and then coming back up. He probably has an ancillary repper of his own that he's using to supplement the reps from that Legion. But while he's staying alive, yeah, they are cleaning up the support war, which great decision making, not getting tempted into trying to hit those battleships under Guardian reps, just picking off the easy smaller ships, and they're in a really, really strong position. I just want to remind people that Out of Sight does still have both Bargus, even though you see that one as being dead. Stealth Eve is alive and 100% HP in that other Bargus.
Yeah, we're seeing Fen scored now kind of hang in there, like he's not going down as fast as he was with the 2 Supels gone. He's now kind of just hanging in at 40% armor. As I say that, he drips close to structure. We're seeing Hard Knocks kind of stabilize a lot more now, though. The Confessor is hanging in there. It's not going down. It was dying earlier.
Yeah, and you have to wonder, have you looked at the weapon systems on these Bargus? Because I'm wondering if this is a rapid heavy reload. I'm guessing it is, based on how well they applied to those smaller targets.
Yeah.
Oh, but Fern is getting low now. Oh, Fern, hold on, baby. Oh, no, and it didn't work out for Fern. He's out, but still one very healthy Bargus in Stealth Eve alive. However, this is now a very uphill battle for him.
Yeah, and with one of the Bargus gone, that's pretty much like half the DPS of their entire setup. Well, I guess they still got the Fleet Foon, but the Damnation and Griffin and Legion aren't going to be doing anything.
Right, so they're not breaking this Confessor, and whether that's a reload or not, even if they just got the reloads, I think it's a bad idea to go for this Confessor. You need to start making some progress on the bigger DPS. Maybe even trying to poke at that Guardian, but he's going to be hard to hit, especially if he's Afterburner fit without any tackle to support it.
Yeah, and the viewers can't see on the UI right now, but Stealth Eve is going into 50% armor roughly right now.
Yeah, you'll just have to trust us on that one. He's actually bouncing from about 2/3 armor up closer to 3/4, so it almost certainly looks like he's got an ancillary armor repper on there. He can only get 8 cycles out of that before it turns into a much shittier armor repair, and it looks like that has come to pass. He's now in about 1/4 armor and getting hit pretty hard.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Out of Sight have changed their target at all. They're still just trying to kill that one Confessor that's tanking fine. Waspy69 is doing fine.
Yeah, it's interesting that you see like no damage coming across. He's even regained shield. That's what I find peculiar. So it's almost like they're not shooting anything. I wonder if there was some issue, or maybe launchers got burnt out, or. But now the Typhoon of Lorenza taking damage. But where was the damage from Out of Sight?
Now. He is now actually dead in the game and on your UI at the same time.
We've caught up to the UI. Nice predictive work there by our overlay. So 1 Fleet Typhoon, a Damnation, and a Griffin versus the world. Fleet Typhoon has pretty good DPS, but I don't think good enough to break any of the ships on Hard Knock Citizen side under those Guardian reps. And frankly, I don't think he can break the Guardian either. So stuck between a rock and a losers bracket, I think.
Yeah, I think the out of sight are going to be out of sight of the winners bracket pretty soon.
Well done by Hard Knock Citizens, but that was a scary. I mean, there's still more match to play, but right now Fleet Typhoon is relatively stable, combining his rep power with the Legion, and as I say that, he becomes pretty unstable, dipping down, and it's really just a matter of time until he pops, I think. But impressive pressure out of sight, and I think if you go back in time, primarying those hounds and maybe even the Swiftbulls was a good call. I had no problem with that. I think that Confessor just Stonewall Jacksoned him.
Yeah, I've actually thought out of sight were probably going to take it, to be honest, when we saw just the 2 hounds and 2 Swiftbulls go down without trading anything. I thought the Bargus was going to catch up, but it looks like he then just succumbed to nuke pressure or something and then just was deleted and it went downhill from there.
Speaking of getting deleted and going downhill, that Griffin just got absolutely wrecked. Something caught him, scrambled him, and then made quick work of it. It looks like Waspy and the Confessor did the heavy lifting on that. Oscuro Typhoon fleet issue is down. That leaves only a Repair Legion and a Damnation on the out of sight team. This is where you start eyeballing those micro jump beacons that are placed around the arena and wondering what you want your legacy to be when this match ends.
Yeah, as you can see from the attack and the control bar, there's basically nothing left of the out of sight team.
They're still their dreams because they are not out of the tournament.
They could just all fly out the arena, all 6 of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna have a prop mod because they're in a Neo Tinker. So yeah, but again, out of sight, not out of the tournament. They are just now in the losers bracket. Hard Knock Citizens, a really good team, so it's not shocking to see that they clawed that back from what looked like a pretty difficult position. But I'd really be curious to find out more about why out of sight's DPS just entirely disappeared. I mean, it didn't seem like drone damage was coming across, and I imagine they're actually using rep drones. So, but yeah, there for a while, even outside of the time it would take to reload those rapid heavies, just nothing getting hit on the Hard Knock side.
Yeah, they just maybe reload, maybe someone ambitiously burnt out their launchers trying to kill the Confessor, who knows. I mean, Hard Knock's probably killed some of their drones too.
Yeah, that's true. Using those rep bots would hurt quite a bit. They have pretty good drone bandwidth from the Fleet Typhoon, but not so much the rest of the fleet. So that whole drone spider concept of using repair drones, a little less effective here than with some of the other setups we've seen today, which can field a little more HP per second in the rep drones.
Yeah, with 2 Bargus and the Fleet Typhoon, you don't have that many drones. I think it's just two from each of the Bargists, and then 5 from the Fleet Typhoon, which is actually less than 2 Fleet Typhoons. So
now you see some in-game piloting from Aldemir Anarian in the Fleet Typhoon, who's lowering his transversal. Wants to make sure that those missiles track perfectly, so he's just sitting still and having a good old time. And you gotta respect the.
Since you called it out.
Ah, okay. Well, sometimes coaching from the analyst desk isn't a bad thing. But now that he's moving, his missiles are going to struggle to track a little bit, but they still seem to be hitting. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to break the Legion. I don't think they're going to break the Damnation, not in the 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining. Those are the tankiest ships. And unless they manage to apply a whole lot of nuke pressure to that Legion, I don't think he's going anywhere. So what do you think about the choice of Bargists in this armor comp? Bargists obviously traditionally shield. They definitely can be used as armor, but were their points well spent on those 3 battleships on the out of sight team?
I think what they really wanted to do is just burst stuff down, and once they killed enough stuff, maybe the 6-man team can just perma-tank it and wait until the end of the match.
Well, 2/6 of their perma-tanks succeeded, so...
Yeah, and the Griffin is also not very well known for a tank.
Yeah, but surprisingly, he was left alive for quite a while. So Confessor's typically really good at killing small, obnoxious, broken, unfair and shameful ships like the Griffin. But I don't know if they were focused on staying close into the fight. I think one of them was pretty thoroughly webbed, or if it was just some exceptional piloting by the Griffin. But he stayed up. He was definitely getting some jam pressure out, whether those jams were landing or not. Just 30 seconds to go now, and absolutely nothing to look at here. Same spot that we were 2 minutes ago.
I'm disappointed that the Typhoon doesn't have the Eve NT skin. We're gonna call him out. Loren's a hunter. You're a poor.
Skin shaming is not okay, Suetonia, and frankly, I don't have time to delve into it. We'll talk about it during the break, but whatever skin he brought today was just fine. Fine enough to take him into the winner's bracket, so he should be proud of the way he looks. Legion still tanking. 3, 2, 1, 0. So really nice job, the Hard Knock citizens. Out of sight, we'll see you for another match. Again, they're not out of the tournament. With that, back to the studio.